Hello and welcome to the Oakland A's UK live stream, a pre-game live stream on Saturday, September 11th, ahead of the A's game against the Texas Rangers. Hope you are doing well. My name is Matt and I'm looking forward to the game today. Should be a cracker. You know, we go back just to the start of the week and a lot of us A's fans were in a bit of doom and gloom. Was the A's season going down a pan? Well, a week is a long time in Major League Baseball, and that's what we're seeing very firmly today. The AL wildcard race is unquestionably a five-team race yet again, and the A's are in the thick of it. All of the teams have come together, and it is there for the taking for two of those five teams, and hopefully the A's can get it done. The A's won last night 10-5, of course, against the Rangers, making it 3 wins in a row. The A's are going for a 4th win in a row today. Cole, always believe in your soul, Irvin, on the mound for the A's against the Rangers, looking for win number 78 for the A's this season, and fingers crossed we can do it. So, yes, it should be a good one today. We'll be doing the live stream for about 15 or 20 minutes before the game. And yeah, let me know if you've got any comments. I see if you're watching live, of course. Hello, French A's. Let's go, Oakland. Definitely. Come on, the A's. I'm excited about this one tonight. I don't know why. I think it's lots of things, isn't it? It's you get the feeling that there's a bit of momentum on the side of the A's at last. Other teams aren't doing so well. You've got KD in the lineup today. What do you expect from KD today? I mean, we've got KD in the lineup. We can look back at yesterday's 10-5 win. Who was the star from yesterday's win? Was it Mateo? Was it Starling? What about Deoda Guerra, who pitched 2 1/3 innings out of the bullpen? Really important yesterday, keeping us in the game. And what are you expecting from Cole today? Let's be honest, he's been going through a bit of rough patch over the past couple of weeks. We need him to return to form, and today would be the perfect time to do it against the Rangers. We know he can beat them. We know he can get it done. So let's hope he does. Well, yes. So quickly looking at the game time. So it's 1:07 p.m. start time at the Coliseum in Oakland, which makes for a 9:07 start time here in the UK and 10:07 out there in Central Europe, such as in France. If you're in the UK, it is MLB TV coverage today online, obviously out there in the States. You can get it on NBC Sports California if you're not blacked out by those stupid blackouts. And we're not going to talk about Cristiano Ronaldo's debut for the United, or second debut, and all of the fuss about how it wasn't on TV in the UK. Who cares? Who cares about football today, actually, with Norwich losing yet again, 4th game, 4th loss in a row. But yes, we're not going to touch football today. We will say a quick shout out, one I remember. In fact, I can't remember her name. Emma something, isn't it? The British girl who is in the US Open final in the tennis. That's starting at 9 o'clock, isn't it? And if you are watching in the UK and if you don't know this already, it is on Channel 4. Channel 4 have done a deal with Amazon Prime to put it on TV in the UK. So you can have that on alongside the A's game starting at 9:07, of course. In terms of looking ahead to today's game, well, you've got to think about the Texas Rangers, who are going through yet another rough season. What are they now? 51-89 on the season. And in fact, yesterday they announced another shakeup of their front office. The names I know, John Daniels, Chris Young, they all seem to be there as per normal, but there's been a bit of a shakeup elsewhere. They need to do something, don't they? They're one of the teams that have gone down, not quite the full teardown route that the Cubs did and the Astros did a few years back, but one of a number of teams that have tried to take steps back to try and build a farm system again. And it looks like they've got some good farm system and some good prospects there, but we're not yet seeing that step forward. And that will be a concern for Rangers fans, I know. And obviously they've got their new egregious waste of taxpayers' money ballpark, as we like to call it, which looks like a warehouse. But there we go. We are in the Coliseum today in a proper ballpark. Yes, it's a bit rough around the edges, but that's how baseball should be. Proper ballpark with proper fans, giving it large, whacking on the drums, cheering away, waving the banners. That's what baseball is about to me. Anyway, let's have a look back at yesterday's game. It was a wonderful 10-5 victory. I think the main thing for me with yesterday's game, coming out of the Chicago White Sox series, where we came back and won 2 games to take the series 2-1, you did feel like that would almost go to waste if we didn't have a good series against Rangers this weekend. We know they're a team that is there for the taking. We've got 3 games against them in this series. we've got some tough games coming up against the likes of the Astros and the Mariners. So let's make hay while the sun shines and take advantage of these teams. And we did that in game one. Fantastic. The big 6-run second inning really set us on the way. We took advantage of their rookie pitcher, Glenn Otto. Paul Blackburn did get knocked around a little bit, unfortunately. Only lasted 2 1/3 innings. But it shows some resiliency, actually, about a team that, having had that big inning to take a 6-1 lead, they then gave up 3 runs in the top of the third. And you could think, and certainly as a fan, you're watching it in the early hours of the morning, here we go again. But no, they just stuck at it. 2-run fourth, 2-run fifth. And what about that bullpen? They have been our Achilles heel for a good month or so, probably. But give them some credit. 6 1/3 innings, gave up just the 2 hits, both of them coming in the 9th inning of Birch Smith, and 1 run as well. But really, really good. And let's have a look, in fact, at the box scores. So yes, let's start with the pitching staff, because this really was impressive by the pitching staff. Paul Blackburn didn't go very deep again. You're not expecting him to be honest. But with such struggles that the bullpen has had recently, you did fear the worst. But look at that. Guerra, I mean, you've really got to give this guy credit. You know, he's not a star pitcher. He's not going to be an 8th inning guy or a 9th inning guy, but he's there in the bullpen every day. If you need him to pitch 1 inning, he will do. If you need him to hold things steady for a couple of innings, he will do. If we're losing badly and we need someone to come in and do mop-up duty to save the rest of the bullpen, he will do it. And you can't over-exaggerate how important a guy like that is in your bullpen. So great for him. But Lou Trevino, we were desperate for him to have a clean inning, and he did. Ismario Petit, everyday Petit, he has been knocked around a little bit lately, but a clean inning. Jake Diekman has also had some struggles recently, and yes, he gave up a walk, but he always gives up a walk. That's what Jake Diekman does, but a clean inning otherwise. Birch Smith, yes, gave up the run, but generally a really good effort from that pitching staff, and something that was an absolute joy to see. I think basically it has to be a huge confidence boost for that team to be able to do that with the struggles that the bullpen has had. It's an absolute real lifesaver for them to do that, basically. Hot bats and bullpen equals W, exactly. And it's a winning formula, and it's something I know we've spoken about this in the past. We on the live stream and on our podcast. It doesn't feel like at any point this season have we had the lineup going well, the starting rotation going well, the bullpen going well, all at the same time. And to be fair, that's the same with most teams. It's rare that you have them all going at the same time. But starting pitching went down a bit, then the bullpen went down, probably linked to that. Starting pitching seems to be picking up again. Frankie's been fantastic. Sean Manaea looks back to his best. And now the bullpen may be on the way. Here we go. This is Carl says, Matt, I listened to the last 2 episodes and I have some important details to tell you. The late July episode has so much misinformation about player rights and sports economics. Please refer to me beforehand, since I have the education indicator for that subject. There we go. I have no idea. That's late July. That's a long time ago, Carl. We'll have to get you on the podcast to explain. A long time ago. Hopefully you've listened to the latest podcast. We've got a YouTube edit of that is coming out tomorrow, so keep an eye out on that. You are an astute podcaster and need to get that correct material. I am, of course. There we go. And I believe in Blackburn for today. Which Blackburn? Blackburn's not pitching today. Pitched yesterday. Blackburn lost. No, they drew today, didn't they, in the football? But we're not talking football. You don't want us to talk football, do you, Carl? So we're not going to talk football. Simple as that. Let's look at the hitters, actually, whilst we are there. Bring those up. So yesterday, who was your star from yesterday, guys? I've gone for Rowley, 4 for 5 with 4 RBI. Hard to look past that, isn't it? But so much good stuff in that bullpen. In the batting lineup, indeed. Starling Marte, 3 for 5, and showing his speed. No, he didn't get a stolen base, but scored from first, also got a triple, just brilliant. Puts pressure on the defense, and that's what you've got to do. And look at the bottom part of that order. I think that's very important. Batters hit 7 to 9. That bottom third went 7 for 13. Kemp, 3 for 5. Murphy, 2 for 5. Elvis 2 for 3, and he stretched a potential single into a double, didn't he, to lead off an inning. Good aggressive base running. So everyone going well. And KD as a pinch hitter got a hit, almost hit a grand slam, didn't he? Maybe today is the day to come good on that. There we go, Carl. Cole, exactly. Cole is who I meant. My bad. No problem. You were picking me up on our errors on the podcast, so I had to pick you up on that one, Carl. Yeah, I think the thing with Cole today, he doesn't need to feel under too much pressure. If he gives us 5 good innings, that's okay. I mean, preferably 6, but just keep it tight against a lineup that isn't too strong, let's be honest, and we'll be happy with that. The way the bullpen looks better yesterday and the way the lineup is going recently, that should be good enough. There we go. Also, Marte was player of the game yesterday, in my opinion. Yeah, hard to split them, really. I mean, Odie got the big bases clearing shot, didn't he, or hit to really help in that second inning. But Marte, he's just so dynamic a player. It's difficult not to be annoyed about the fact that we know we're not going to keep him. But yeah, he's had such a great impact on the team. So that's been great. Elvis was really good yesterday too. Yeah, he's kind of had a few performances like that, hasn't he, where he does frustrate you at times. He goes up and down, but when he's on, and he clearly is a good influence in the clubhouse. And him alongside Josh Harrison, we've got some guys who seem to be raising spirits, and you need that at this time of year when you're in a bit of a funk, as we were. You need guys who will just get the energy going. And Skenzo, we must pay Olsen at any price. The trouble is, we just won't. We must, but we won't. Very unfortunate. Yes. Are they good, or is it just the Rangers? I think it's a bit of both, as per usual. I do think the Rangers are a struggling team, but we see it all the time, don't we? I mean, we will come to. In fact, we'll come on to the results from yesterday in a second, but we saw the Blue Jays lose their winning run against Baltimore. That can happen in baseball. Good teams can be beaten by teams that haven't done so well in a season. So the key for me is don't worry. Let's not worry too much about how much the Rangers are contributing to it. We know they're not a great team. You've still got to beat them. And it's especially at this time of year when you've got a series against a team like the Rangers, let's take full advantage and get all 3. Hopefully we can. One of my hopes of Marte getting re-signed, but I think Yan Gomes could be worth re-signing. Yeah, I think it's going to be a case of what do the front office think about Austin Allen when I got sent back to Vegas. I guess that's the side of things. We've had Austin Allen, Aramis Garcia, obviously played quite a bit earlier in the season, then got demoted. There's the other guy, is it Carlos Perez? Am I thinking of the right person, who has smacked a load of home runs for Vegas, is the catcher? I don't think any of them are the full-time answer, but it will depend on which one they want to go for next year, bearing in mind Sean Murphy is going to be their primary catcher, isn't he? And maybe that's not what Yan Gomes wants. I guess we'll have to wait and see. Don't mention better teams losing to worse teams. I've had enough of that already today. Yes. In fact, so have I. You'll enjoy that one, Carl. Yes. Let's have a look, in fact, at yesterday's results. Let's go through them all. So let me just bring up that detail. So, Toronto were in great form. And this is the way baseball goes, isn't it? Toronto swept the Yankees in a 4-game series. They'd won 8 in a row. Going into Baltimore, you're thinking, well, here we go again. But no, Baltimore beat them 6-3. And you can look at it the other way as well. You had the New York Yankees go back second half of the August, them coming into the Coliseum. They were the hottest team in baseball, 13 wins in a row, including the first 2 against us. And then we took a couple off them, and including those 2, they've lost 13 of their last 15 games, and have now lost, 7 in a row, losing yesterday to the Mets 10-3. Obviously, they're playing today in what I'm sure is an emotional one in New York on September the 11th. Haven't seen the score of that. If you know the score of that, I think it started earlier at 6 or 7 our time, a couple of hours ago. Boston, they lost to the White Sox yesterday, 4-3. Of course, we know the White Sox are a good team, so no shame there. But they've also lost Chris Sale recently to a positive COVID test, so he's out for a little while. So, they're they've had a lot of issues, in fact, with COVID, and that's been interesting to see how they've not dealt very well with that. But it seems Seattle unfortunately won yesterday 5-4 against the D-backs, but Arizona are no good at the moment. They are pretty hopeless. I know they swept them in a series not long ago too. Mariners face Boston Red Sox next week, don't they? So we'll see how good the Mariners really are. But all in all, it was a pretty good day for the A's. Let's look at the wildcard standings prior to today's games. So Boston now are in the top spot, but only by 1 game ahead of the Yankees, who are then half a game ahead of Toronto, half a game ahead of both us and Seattle. So as I mentioned as we started in the introduction, it is a true 5-team race. Squeaky bum time, as we call it in the UK. For a lot of these teams, Boston and the Yankees, they're expecting to be in the playoffs. They've been in those positions for a while, but they are feeling the pressure. They are cracking under the pressure. Indeed, the A's have been through their rough patch. Now it's time for the Yankees to go through one. Hopefully it's time for the Toronto Blue Jays. Have got to cool off, of course. So having won so many, maybe they'll go in a little bit of a funk, and we need the Mariners to go into a funk as well. That would be very handy. But let's concentrate on the Oakland A's, because the A's have a great game to go to today. As I mentioned, 9:07 our time here in the UK, 1:07 in Oakland. And there's been a bit of a change around. In fact, not too long ago, it was due to be a battle of Colby Allard and Cole Irvin. We've faced Colby Allard 4 times already this season, so I was quite happy about that, because we've generally had good success against him so far this season. Apparently, he is ill. Don't know anything if it's COVID related. I assume it's not, because there's nothing else been said about it. But so Colby Allard is a late scratch for the Rangers, so it's going to be Wes Benjamin, who I can't say I know too much about. Left-handed pitcher, has made 11 appearances this season. 1 of them was a start. That came on May 14th against the Astros and didn't go very well. 1 2/3 innings. So the A's have faced him a couple of times this season in the relief role, pitching 1 inning each time, but yeah, so he's fairly inexperienced, made his major league debut last year, left-handed pitcher. In fact, he's quite similar to Colby Allard. When you look at his setup, he's got a fastball, 92 miles an hour, cutter, curve, and change. And same with Allard in how he uses it. Typical lefty, really, in terms of, let me see, against left-handed hitters is really fastball, cutter, and curve. And then he throws his changeup about 20% of the time against righties rather than the curveball. So that is what we're facing. It's a different pitcher to who we thought we were going to face, but in reality, in terms of his arsenal, in terms of what he brings to the table, very similar to Colby Allard. And you would expect that he's not going to pitch for particularly long, maybe get a couple of innings out of him, and it will be a bullpen game for them. And as we attacked them yesterday, that hopefully will play to our advantage, because, and hopefully that will play into the hands of Cole Irvin too, because we really need a good start from Cole today, don't we? Making his 28th start of the season, and going back to the start of the season when he won a spot in the opening day rotation. We would have taken that. I mean, he's on course to pitch 30 times, make over 30 starts, maybe even 31, 32 probably, which we would have taken coming into this season as a rookie. Last 3 games haven't gone too well for him. Hasn't been able to go deep into games. 3 innings, 4 2/3 innings. And last time out against Toronto was a bit of a disaster, let's be honest. 2 1/3 innings, gave up 7 earned runs on 8 hits. Nightmare. Has faced Seattle 4 times already this season. Generally gone okay. Last time, not so good though. August 13th, gave up 5 runs, 3 of them earned, on 8 hits over 5 innings. Pretty similar arsenal to what Colby Allard and Wes Benjamin has. 91 mile per hour fastball, change slider curve, uses his slider a lot against left-handed hitters, change up instead against righties. So Lalius Cole, that is a pitcher matchup, and let's have a look at the Oakland A's lineup today. Oops, here we go. So there we are, Cole on the right, and this is the lineup today. So in terms of who is in there, top 4 is the same as yesterday. Josh Harrison, Sterling Marte, Matt Olson, and Matt Chapman. And then a few little changes. So Yan Gomes comes in for Sean Murphy at catcher. Day game after a night game, as you'd expect. Mark Canha is in again, although he's moving from right field to left field. Chris Davis is in, designated hitter. Gotta love it. He came in as a pinch hitter yesterday. but he makes the start today. Chad Pinder comes into the team as well. So he goes to right field, which means Canna goes from right field to left field. And then there we are again, Elvis Andrus rounding it out. Had a good day yesterday. Hopefully we can have a bit more of that today. He is in the 9 hole and playing at shortstop. There we go. So let's see what the comments are. Oh, David, late in Matt, but you just said Arsenal. I know. I didn't mean to say Arsenal. Yeah, Arsenal in terms of pitching rather than football. We're not talking football anymore. Definitely not Cronky FC, Carl. Definitely not. No, we're not talking football again today. It is baseball. Baseball on our minds today. Again, with a little bit of tennis, I guess, because of the Emma. What she called in the tennis at 9 o'clock, isn't it? So yes, there we go. Anyways, I've got a funny logo coming up. Hopefully it's still going through. I've got a funny logo coming up saying there's an issue with connection, but it seems to be going okay. There we go. It's gone off. Hopefully we're okay and we're going well. Anyways, yeah, so that's the lineup today. As I mentioned, it's a 9:07 start here in the UK, so we're 20 minutes away from first pitch, and I am confident today. And of course, I am predicting the good man, Chris Davis, KD, going deep for the A's today. You can't predict anything else. Bing, there's the prediction bell, KD. You gotta love it. Baseball will forget me, help those football pains of today. Yes. It's a good thing about loving multiple sports, isn't it, Carl? You know, when one team lets you down, hopefully another team will pick you up. Now, more of late, for me, it hasn't really worked. And yes, I assume the same for you, Matt. Yeah, exactly. Although it's very much expected for me as a Norwich fan. But there we go. We've got Watford at home next up. That's going to be the crunch one, isn't it? And then Liverpool in the League Cup. So yes, easy win tonight. Yes, that's what we like to see. 8-2. I do think it's the sort of game where, because the Rangers have had to make a late change in a starting pitcher, guy who doesn't normally start, he's probably not going to go for very long. We know how good the top of our lineup can be. It has the potential to be a bit like yesterday, where we can get off to a hot start, get a few runs early, and hopefully that will settle Cole Irvin down and he'll give us a good start and we can take it on from there. Carl says, this is in reference to multiple sports teams. It's like using multiple drugs. When one gets you down, use another one to get up. Oh dear, I don't know about that. Uppers and downers. That is a slippery slope, Carl. Allard is 3-12, no excuse. So Allard is actually not pitching now today. Yeah, Kobe Allard was due to be pitching for the Rangers, but is a late scratch. I like how they call them scratches in American sports. So it is Wes Benjamin, who I've never heard of, really, but he is going to take the place of Allard today because Allard is ill, apparently. No word on whether it's COVID or anything, but we will see. Carl is going to take 6-2 for the A's. Yan Gomes with a home run. Yes, I'd be happy with a Gomes home run. That would do me. Yeah. He has been, I think he hasn't hit quite as much as we would have liked, but to be fair to him, because he's not playing quite as regularly as he probably would hope, you have to expect that a bit. I think we see that with Chad Pinder. Hopefully Chad can get a hit or two today, but it is difficult. And we even saw it with Jed Lowry when he moved to being almost full-time DH. You understood why the team did that with his knees. You know, he's a veteran player. He played a lot of second base early in the season, much more than we thought he would. So they've been DHing him quite a bit. It did seem to, whether it was just coincidence that it coincided with his back going cold, I don't know. But yeah, we'll see. But I think if Yan Gomes can get him, I'm sure he'll come through for us. I don't expect him to be a high batting average guy, just Sean Murphy isn't, but he can run into one. We all know. We know that Sean Murphy can hit big boy home runs, and hopefully Yan Gomes can follow suit today. Yan Gomes and KD going deep. That will do me. So just finishing off, I've got it off. Maybe let's get rid of best to committee. There we go. Oh, it's not working. Oh, there we are. There we go. We seem to be back in some sort of righteous place. So yeah, A's news. The main news from today: Chris Bassett was out on the field today at the Coliseum before the game, had a bullpen session, so first time thrown off the mound since that fateful day in Chicago. All went well, 30 pitches. Now your stream video is messed up. Oh dear. Now it's back to normal. There we go. We're back to normal. Okay. Right. We'll hopefully we're okay. Yes. So as I was saying, Chris Bassett, 30 pitches I think he threw today. All went well. He's going to travel with the team to Kansas City and do a bullpen there. And then hopefully if that all goes well, he could be back with the team fairly soon, which is incredible considering what happened to him. Seth Brown is also back on the roster after his dice with COVID. Austin Allen, the catcher, went back to Vegas. And the final piece of news, not really A's news, but Oakland news. Oakland Roots are also playing today. The soccer team out there in Oakland. They're hosting San Diego Loyal at Laney today, and it is Pride Night out there in Oakland. So a portion of ticket sales is going to the Oakland LGBTQ Community Center. So good to see Pride Night in Oakland. Let's hope the Oakland Roots can get a win today, and we can have an Oakland double. That would be perfect, wouldn't it? There we go. I've just got a reminder on my tablet to say that the A's game is starting in whatever it is, 15 minutes time. So I think that is a good point at which to say goodbye. I won't go too aggressive. I am going for a 7-3. I'm going for 7-3. I do think Cole will give up a couple of runs and maybe one run from the bullpen, but I'm confident that KD is going deep. I'm confident Yan Gomes is going deep. And I'm confident that the A's are getting a beautiful win. Let's hope some other teams lose and the A's continue to make ground in a wildcard standings. There we go. Hopefully the couple of connection issues have not ruined the video too much. And we can be back at it again tomorrow. So just a little bit of a promo for stuff. So as I mentioned a little earlier, we recorded our latest podcast earlier in the week. So that is now available across all podcast platforms. That's Series 2, Episode 13. And as I mentioned, there's like a 15-minute, 20-minute edit. I've put together a video version that will be up on our YouTube channel tomorrow. So do subscribe to the YouTube channel and all of that stuff. And subscribe on Oakland AUK. And we will be back in theory. This is the plan. We will be back at the same time tomorrow on Sunday. The A's are playing against the Rangers again at the same time on Sunday. So we will be doing another live stream again, going through the game from today, going through the lineup and all of that jazz. And also look to next week where we go and play Kansas City, don't we? So it should be good. Okay, let's hope it's a good one for the A's today. Let's hope you have a great game and a great A's win. Thank you everyone who has been watching and commenting along on the live stream. And if you've been watching back on the record, again, apologies for the few issues, and do subscribe to the YouTube channel and or the Twitter account so you're notified when we go live again. And we're going live again at 8:25 or 12:25 if you're in Oakland on Sunday. Thanks for watching.